Hi there, I'm Sune from Codebrit, and today we are going to talk about what is a good key performance indicator. Now, first of all, let's start with the data. We need some valid data. We need some data that is updated as frequently as we need them for the KPI, and we need some data that is consistent with the data source. So that means that if you have some people who needs to log something, then they need to log it often so that the KPI is showing the right things. We'll get much more into what is good data in another video. Now, you also need your key performance indicator to be easy to figure. So let's have an example. If you look at something called engagement rate, then that is a KPI very often used with social media. And one way to measure that is to say comments times 2 plus likes plus shares divided by reach per posts times 100. So that's very complex, it's very complicated, and just from looking at the name you cannot really tell what this is all about. Now, if you look at this, then the important part is the comments part. So why not have another one called comments per post instead? And that will be comments divided by posts. Now here it's very easy, just from the name, to know what this is about. And you can actually see the same important things in this one. So you have the comments still. So you know that you need to focus on getting more comments on the post you make. So this is a way of simplifying a very complex KPI into something that is very easy to figure and very easy to understand. Now, your key performance indicator also needs to be relevant. And as Peter Drucker says, what gets measured gets managed, which means that the things you measure is also the things that you will manage and the things that you'll look at. So if you take industry standard metrics and put them on a dashboard, then those are the KPIs you'll focus on. And if they are not tied to your strategy, then they will not put you in the right direction, which leads to that things change all the time. And from time to time, you need to look at the KPIs you have and re-evaluate if they are still the most important ones. And if they're not, then you need to change them into something else. Now, a good key performance indicator also needs to be improvable. And let's just have another example. So if you run a delivery company and you want all your packages to be delivered within 24 hours, then that is a pretty cool statement. And it might also be a very good strategy and something that you want to show your customer. But what happens if you have, like in this case, 1 or 2 or 3 packages that are not delivered on time? Then do you just lose? Do you give up your strategy? What do? You cannot really improve it because it has happened. But what you could do would be to look at the average delivery time instead. That is something that you can actually work on over time. So you might start up with something where the average is above 24 hours, but that is something that you can work towards getting below. Another way to show this could be to have the percentage of packages delivered on time. And that is a number that will increase if it's going in the right direction, and you will just have a higher percentage of packages delivered on time. So that is something you can work with. And another good thing about this one is that it's positively phrased, which leads to the last one, that it needs to be positive. So let's have the last example. If you look at sales, you can either phrase it as sales, or you could phrase it as sales left. And at least to me, this one sounds much more fun, because that will increase over time. We will have a graph that raises, and if you look at the sales left, that is a declining graph, and you're not really going to achieve it as well as with the sales over here. But this doesn't mean that you cannot have a KPI that should be declining. For instance, if you're running a marathon, then you might want to know how many kilometers are left compared to how many kilometers have already ran. So those are the things that we think you should consider when setting up a good key performance indicator. Now, like this video if you liked it, and share it with your colleagues who needs to know something about a good key performance indicator. And we'll see you in the next Tuesday tip. Thanks for watching.